So on this video, I'm going to be asking myself some questions. And the question is, has spirituality helped me? So it's such a massive question. I've got to break it down into career, relationships, money, and fulfillment. So has spirituality helped me with my career? What it did is that it showed me very clearly that the 9 to 5 was complete nonsense. And at the age of 48, I think, I then started to go down a path where I started to choose jobs that I actually felt were more aligned with me. So I went from sort of e-commerce administration, and one of my freelance jobs at the moment is creating superfoods. So, and I love it, and I love it. I love doing that. So I have more aligned with my passions through spirituality. The working, when I see adverts for jobs sometimes and I read the language of that advert and it's Monday to Friday, 40 hours a week, I'm just like, no, 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 no. So in that way, it has helped with my career, but I would say that before I was really hungry in comparison to now to be successful. And I don't have that hunger anymore. I'm just looking for the work-life balance is more important. I'm looking to have a healthy income, but I'm not looking for a career anymore. I'm just looking for a lifestyle more, or a lifestyle choice more. So I hope that's answered that. Has it helped with my relationships? So if we said romantic relationships, spirituality has had such a profound effect on my relationships. I mean, just massive. There were many years when I never dated anybody because of my spiritual beliefs. And my spiritual beliefs were that I was waiting for my soulmate and I didn't want to be with anybody unless I felt like I was in love with them. But also spirituality, if you don't handle it properly, when you're awakening, you can get some really negative influences, and they have led me down some very negative paths in terms of relationships as well. So it's got a dual aspect. And what else has it done for me? In a relationship, what it allows me to do is not be so demanding on the person that I'm seeing. So I used to be very demanding person, and it gives me some relief release from if someone isn't doing the things that I want in the way that I want them done, or isn't approaching me or communicating me in the way that I would like, it allows me to be softer in those moments, or in that situation, and to be more forgiving of other people's imperfections, because I'm remembering my own imperfections. What it didn't do, I don't think that spirituality raised my self-esteem. which is quite curious actually. I think I had higher self-esteem. I'm not sure. It's a very complex thing. I think I had higher self-esteem before spirituality because I sort of dived into my childhood trauma, and I think that made me very vulnerable. And I think that I felt very ashamed about some of the things that happened to me, or some of my experiences and stuff like that, some of my choices in life. And I think that made me pull away from having a relationship as well, because I just thought, I don't want to share this with anybody. I don't feel good enough, and all those sort of things. So in that way, spirituality, while I sort of turned around and looked at myself in truthfulness, I couldn't really find the love for myself in that. I didn't think someone else would love me if they knew the truth about who I was and what I've been through and what I've experienced and the choices that I've made in life. Now, though, at some point, what happened is that somehow I just went into receiving mode. I became receptive to a relationship, and I wasn't even really aware that I had become receptive to a relationship. But if a relationship comes into your life, you're receptive. I spent many years where I had no offers of a relationship from anybody, sort of thing. So for some reason, I suddenly become receptive to a relationship, which is lovely and feels very nice. So has it helped with money? Oh my God, no. Let me rethink this. Has it helped with money? What I'm trying to think of is, was my financial situation better or worse before spirituality? Well, initially on my awakening, I went from sort of doing a regular 9-to-5 job to actually not working for a few years. So I actually went from quite a nice, reasonable lifestyle. I didn't have a lot of money, but I managed to have a lovely apartment and had lovely things and stuff like that. And I lived in a nice area and things like that. I was always sort of watching my pennies. And I went from that to nothing. I'm not going to go fully into detail about it here, but I literally almost went to nothing. And that was really difficult. And then I had to build up from there. And then it took me about, how long did it take me to build up? I was on a very, very low income during my spiritual awakening. And that was sort of like, sort of really opting for part-time jobs rather than full-time jobs and that sort of thing. I just didn't feel like I could handle a full-time job anymore. And then eventually I did take a full-time job on again, and my lifestyle improved, but it was just sheer burnout. So I think what's happened though, I did go through a phase where I thought money was evil. I definitely did think that. And at the time, it was becoming trendy on the internet for spiritual people to start earning a lot of money. Now, we just take it for granted. But prior to that, spirituality was about not having a lot of money. And I was definitely thinking money's evil. I had very strong views on that. Now I just think people are just milking the whole money spirituality thing, and I think it's just twisted and distorted. But I do feel like money is infinite. It's not actually what we think it is. These pieces of paper, we feel it comes from the bank and working and stuff like that, or it's given to us through family, friends, or inheritance. 3D reality type things. And I actually now do believe that it just comes from somewhere else, that we manifest it into our lives. And I'm not great at manifesting money. I have to say, I would like to be able to triple my income, would be fantastic. So, but I think that's more about me as a person, more than rather than spirituality, because I'm pretty much in the same boat as I was before and after. But before spirituality and after spirituality, I'm pretty much the same circumstances. But I did go through many years, very, very low income, very humbling experience, not in a good way, humbling. It was very, very difficult. So, has spirituality helped me in that? Do I feel fulfilled? Well, because I'm hesitating, it must be a no. I don't feel more fulfilled. But what I feel like, I'm more in acceptance of those things that I haven't achieved in life. I've always felt that I should have achieved a lot more. I always felt that I had the skills and the talent and the intelligence to have a better lifestyle and to earn a lot of money, and I've never done that. And I'm more in acceptance of that and the possibility that it might not happen, which people say, oh, it's not going to happen if you think that way anyway. But I feel like I'm more forgiving of myself for not achieving the things that I wanted to achieve. I haven't given up yet, but I just feel like all the opportunities that I've missed and things like, I'm very aware of the opportunities that I've missed, whether it's in relationships or career or finances or material possessions or love, like a whole spectrum of things. So I more recognize, I'm not in denial of what I've missed, where I've took the wrong turns. So I don't know that I feel more fulfilled, but I would feel like I'm certainly at a place where I could pass reasonably peacefully if I had to. But I don't know that peacefulness would come from sort of feeling content with the life that I've had, because I don't feel content with the life that I've had. It's more like the race was hard and I'm happy to step out of the race. That's where I am with it. And I just don't know that I'll ever get to that level of spirituality where, I'm feeling blissed out and blessed for all the negative things that have happened in my life. But I am more in gratitude for a lot of things we take for granted. So I have a heightened awareness of beauty in the world. I think a heightened awareness of both sides, but I didn't really value the beauty of the world that nature provided, and I really, really value that. And I value moments a lot, just small, special moments, even if I'm not involved in it. Like you might be people watching or animal watching, and so dogs and cats and things like that. And I don't know, like I feed some of the dogs in where I'm staying. I'm living abroad at the moment, and a lot of the dogs are treated really badly here, and I take great pleasure to go and take them some snacks and some food and things like that. And there's a couple of dogs just now they're like, they bark like she's coming, sort of thing, you know. And one dog is blind, and he's so beautiful. He's like, I call him Snow. He's like a snowy teddy bear, and he is waiting for me quietly, you know. And yeah, I really feel a sense of um, enjoyment in these moments, whether it's a beautiful sky at night, whether someone's done a beautiful action, whether I'm having a conversation with someone which has ignited my imagination. I feel very blessed on many, many levels for the small things in life. Has it made me more loving? Don't know that it has. I can't love unconditionally. I think that's it really hard. I'm very shut down towards a lot of my family. Um, I think if anything, it's made me sort of go. I think if anything, it's made me unravel the ties that society has put onto us. So like family ties and things like that. So I feel like more like I'm just like, no, I don't have to be your sister or your auntie or anything like that. You know, I don't have to just because I was born into that situation. So that can come across, I suppose, as quite cold. Um, but I have a massive ability to love. Um, was I like that before? Don't know. I think, yeah, maybe it's expanded my heart more, you know, like, yeah, I've just got so much love to give someone. I'm still learning to love myself, which is a term that I hate, to be honest. I think that loving yourself is not what people think it is. I think loving yourself, it is about like not being a doormat and putting yourself first and things like that. But I think it's really about, the starting point is about getting really truthful with yourself about your life and about your life choices and the shame, the guilt, and the remorse that you feel over certain actions and things like that. And working through, I had a lot of childhood trauma, so working through that and yeah, sort of working through that and sort of loving yourself in that if you can, but it can actually make you very sensitive, you know, like your emotions are very sort of here. I feel like my emotions are here up in my chest, like ready, you know, to sort of come out, as it were. Yeah, so I think it's about really working through some heavy stuff. Um, what spirituality has done for me, and this is the part that I was always interested in from the start, and this is one of my main objective. What I wanted to know was, why are we here? Where did we come from and where are we going, and what was the truth of that? And I feel like I now have an understanding of what that is, not what this 3D reality is showing us, but what's really going on, which is another video. Maybe I'll do it just after this one, actually. Why are we here? Where did we come from? And where are we going? And that absolutely fascinates me. And spirituality has 1000% helped me with that. Not helped me, given me the answers. And you know, the one thing when I passed, I'm so happy that I feel like I found the answers to those very profound questions. And I'm really glad that I've seen through this this crap 3D reality, because I feel it's pretty crap, you know, and really have a good understanding of that. And that has always been my main interest from the moment I was a kid. And the first paragraph, I think it's the first paragraph in Genesis about how we were created, how the world was created. Not saying I believe that religious, but it triggered my imagination. You know, creation fascinates me. So I'll leave it there. Okay, ciao.